The final game tonight for the state title will feature Westinghouse's Brown and Glover up against the leaders of Lanphier, Iguodala and McBride for a chance to win the state trophy next on the IHSA television network. Welcome back to Carver Arena for the state championship game of the IHSA Boys Class AA State Basketball Tournament. A team from the Windy City is playing a team from our state capital. The Westinghouse Warriors will be facing the Lanphier Lions for a battle to see who will become our state champions. I'm Lisa Prati with the IHSA Television Network. This is what we've been waiting for. And Dave Bernhardt and Doug Altenberger will tell us more on how these two teams match up. Gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Lisa. You know, it's Saturday night, but it seems like Tuesday night, the Super Sectionals, is so long ago. Well, you got your brackets. You took a look. You saw the top bracket. You saw the bottom bracket. And if you're an unbiased fan, Doug, I think this is the ball game that everybody was pointing for.
Yeah, Dave, no question about it. The fans were looking forward to it. And if anything was like in the Pecan Holiday Tournament where they played even all three quarters and all of a sudden Lanphier was able to stretch it out in the fourth quarter, we're going to have a dynamic game again tonight.
Let's take a look at the road to Peoria and beyond. Once they get to Peoria, this is how it works out as far as Lanphier is concerned. Pekin took them down to the wire. Now in the quarterfinals yesterday, Thornwood really felt the wrath of that Lanphier press. And in the semis earlier today, great ball game. Lanphier saw a 12-point lead shrink down to 2, but Centralia could get no closer before the Lions pulled it out 56-52. As far as Peoria, as far as Westinghouse is concerned, of course, they had to win the Chicago Public League. They get past Von Steuben and, of course, a very tough ball game against Farragut in that Public League championship. Once they got down to Peoria, a little bit easier. Glenbard North 71-48. Then, of course, earlier on today, New Trier fell to the Warriors 63-46. So that's why we are standing here right now. And another reason we are standing here right now is because of the outstanding players involved in this particular ball game. Of course, you have all-staters on both sides. First of all, though, for Springfield Lanphier, we've talked about him a lot, Andre Iguodala.
And he's a guy that when they played earlier in the season, like we talked about, he had 9 assists, 6 steals, was really a troublemaker on the press, able to get a lot of points off turnovers. Lanphier was able to get 23 points off turnovers against Westinghouse. But look for Lanphier to really try to force some more turnovers tonight.
As far as Westinghouse is concerned, they have a player that their head coach Chris Head said he is really upset that he did not make All-State. That's Darius Glover.
And he's playing with an attitude. I mean, this guy's playing his best basketball of the season right now. He has stepped up and has become a leader on this team. And this team has reached a couple new levels right now. And they've come in, and their goal this year was to win the state championship. They won't be happy without them coming home with the trophy tonight.
We've had a chance to scout these two teams for a couple of days. Of course, they know each other very well. It took a little while, though, to get the keys to this ball game.
Yeah, it was difficult when you looked at both these teams and how they matched up. And it was, as we looked around and we tried to figure out who the keys are, we're still trying to figure out who the keys are here. Lanphier, they've got to handle the quickness of Westinghouse, probably one of the quickest teams in the whole state. The X factor, those are the guys like Smith and the rest of those guys to step up. And the interior defense, they gave up a lot of rebounds. They had a difficult time on Battle of the Boards. They lost at 42-28 earlier in the game. Westinghouse got to stay patient on offense. It's very difficult to do against Lanphier's pressure. Take care of the ball. And Darius Glover, he's the guy. He's the factor. He can make a big difference on both ends, both offense and defensively for this team.
As Doug mentioned, back in December 29th to be exact, 77-71. That was the Lanphier win. So, you know, combine that, Doug. They saw each other at the holiday tournament. They saw each other here. They played each other. There's no surprises. They're just going to come out and play tonight.
Yeah, and that's what we got to look for as fans and as spectators. These teams know each other very well. They're going to come at each other very hard. It's going to be a very close-knit game, a quick game, and it's going to be fun to watch.
Well, these two teams made their way to Carver Arena, as many of us did. First of all, Springfield Lanphier, this is a little bit earlier on this evening, the thoughts that go through their heads as they come into the arena.
And as you see them come in, they're very relaxed. Both teams, to me, felt very relaxed, very confident. You can see them just the way they're ready to play, they're ready to get this game on. And Even the coaches, when you hear the coaches talking, again, their goal was, hey, we want to do well, but we want to do better than that. We want to win the state championship.
Well, they will get the opportunity here in just a matter of moments. It will be either Westinghouse or Springfield Lanphier that we will crown 2002 boys Class AA state champions. But first, we need to meet the starting lineups. And for that, let's go to our public address announcer, Paul Herzog.
Good evening, basketball fans. On behalf of the Illinois High School Association of the City of Peoria, welcome to America's Original March Madness for tonight's Class AA championship game in Carver Arena, featuring the Chicago Westinghouse Warriors and the Springfield Lanphier Lions. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the Carver Arena floor. We have with us tonight some very special guests. Back in 1952, Hebron, with an enrollment of only 98 students, beat Quincy 64-59 in overtime to become state champions in the first state tournament game ever televised in Illinois. The Green Giants are the one and only school in IHSA history to advance out of a district tournament and win the boys state championship. Their story has been captured in a book, Once There Were Giants. Many of them are here with us this evening, presenting commemorative medallions to the team on their 50th anniversary of their great accomplishment are the authors of the book, Scott Johnson and his wife, Julie Kissler. And now, please welcome to the Carver Arena floor, the home of America's original March Madness, the 35-1 Hebron Green Giants. With us, the son of the late coach Russ Ahern, Bill Ahern. Number 21, forward, Jim Wilbrand. Number 10, guard, Jim Bergen. Number 6, guard, Ken Spooner. Number 9, forward, Phil Judson. Number 4, guard, Paul Judson. And number 17, center, Bill Schultz. Congratulations again to the Green Giants of Hebron, state champions 50 years ago. And now let's meet the starting lineups for this championship game, the year 2002. At a forward for Springfield, a 6'6" senior, 41, Andre Iguodala. At a forward for Chicago Westinghouse, a 5'10" senior, number 12, Clyde Crosby. The other forward for the Lions, a 6'3" senior, 50, Nikos Scott. The other forward for the Warriors, a 6'4" senior, 44, Darius Glover. One of 3 guards for Lanphier, a 6'1" senior, 21, Tony Smith. At center for Westinghouse, a 6'5" senior, 24, Richard Russell. For the Lions, a 5'9" junior, 23, Adamala Adeniji. The guard for the Warriors, a 5'11" senior, 10, Jamal Brown. The third guard for Lanphier is 6'3" junior, 33, Richard McBride. The other guard for Westinghouse, a 6'4" sophomore, 30, Jamarcus Ellis. Head coach at Lanphier, 16 years a head coach, 9 for the Lions, a record of 159 and 92, Craig Patton. Head coach for Westinghouse in his 4th season, a record of 106 and 20, Chris.
In his 9th year at Springfield, Lanphier, the 2nd time that Lanphier has been here in the last 9 years after coming from Creek-Monee High School. And of course, Chris Head, 2 years ago, he was looking for a state championship, came up just a bit short against West Aurora. He gets another opportunity here tonight. Westinghouse, you heard Jamal Brown if you're with us in the semifinals. The post-game interview, he indicated that they wanted Springfield Lanphier. It was something they had been pointing to all year, and they've got them right now.
Be careful what you wish for.
Don Western out of Caterpillar presenting the honorary game ball, and now it's time for our national anthem here from Carver Arena.
Peoria Woodruff sings our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Well, what more do you need here tonight? You introduced the state champions from Hebron of 50 years ago. You have a great soloist, and you've got two teams that Charlie Essig, who produces a power rankings, computerized power rankings, has said they're the number 1 and 2 teams in the state. Our officials tonight in the state championship game: Kevin Cates, Ray Piagentini, and Kevin Wiggs. Okay, Doug, early on, what do we need to look for? We've seen these teams. We see the pace at which we play in this championship game. What are we looking for here right now?
Well, if you're Westinghouse, look for Darius Glover really and Richard Russell to do some damage down low in the paint area. Very successful. Lanphier really trying to force some turnovers and look for them to really go up tempo, and it's going to be sort of what Lanphier can do in the open court versus what can Westinghouse do down low in the paint.
And our boys AA state championship game is underway. The Lions from Lanphier to control this rip to McBride. Iguodala with it. They'll try a three right out of the box. Saved nicely by Nico Scott. And an Adeniji. And he did that twice in the first couple of minutes in the semifinals. He picks up an offensive foul here.
And that's the scouting report on him. He's going to go in there out of control, got to step up, stay at home, don't go for the charge, don't go in the air, and you can get the offensive charge on him every time.
Comes the full court pressure. Jamal Brown with it. Clyde Crosby to cross half court. Turnaround, Russell got it.
A nice defense by Lanphier. Really pushed Russell outside the box. A nice turnaround 15-footer. Tough shot.
Long bomb. McBride misses badly.
Now, 2 quick shots by the All-Staters. They can get that shot anytime they want. Want to work it a little bit. Be a little more patient on offense.
Russell, the drop down inside. Big Darius Glover finishes it off.
See, I like the way Westinghouse is going, Dave. Get the ball inside, real patient. Go right at the All-Stater for Lanphier. Try to get those guys in foul trouble.
We'll see Westinghouse trap out of this zone. Another 3-ball. This one rattles in for Tony Smith.
And in their first showing against each other, Smith was 4 from 8 from three-point land, so Westinghouse knows he can knock it down.
That's breaking pressure. Richard Russell, his second basket of the night.
Good job by Jamal Brown to break him down, look for Glover inside.
Iguodala works and scoops with the left hand. Sophomore Jamarcus Ellis has it poked away, tracked down. Inside again, Russell. And finally, the whistle. Chicago to Springfield. Well, if you're going to go from Chicago to Springfield, you pass through Peoria. Just head down I-55. They meet here tonight for the state championship. Richard Russell, who had a team-high 13 points in a semifinal win today over New Trier, has 5 quick ones here in the first quarter.
Yeah, they list him at 6'5", but he looks a lot like 6'7", 6'8". He must have grown since the beginning of the season.
He is a senior, and he knocks them both down. 6 of Westinghouse's first 8 points have come off the hand of Russell. Tyler Klunik has come into the game for Lanphier. He has it now, and he'll give it back to McBride.
Yeah, I like the zone on Lanphier. You know who the spot-up shooters are. Got to play discipline. Know who those guys are. Communicate on defense.
Tough shot there from Smith. It's pulled down by Glover. Jamal Brown launches and drills it. 3-ball from Jamal Brown. Quickly a 6-point Warrior lead.
Yeah, Westinghouse coming out really sharp offensively. Looks like they've got the extra step here on Lanphier early on in the game.
Skip pass to Klunik. Ripped away by Jamarcus Ellis, the sophomore. Brown on the move to Crosby. Ellis. Quickly the other way. McBride on the move. Junior All-Stater on the bounce. It will stay in Springfield's hands. They have a timeout on the floor. 11-5 is your score. Westinghouse on top. We'd like to remind you that the IHSA broadcast is brought to you by Country Insurance and Financial Services. Real people, real answers, real quick. Well, we told you how to get to Peoria from Chicago and Springfield. We take a look at the hometowns of these two schools, two of the most influential cities in the state. Of course, Springfield, our state capital of Sangamon County, 112,000 population. They play the Central State 8 Conference. We mentioned at Westinghouse, the champs of the Chicago Public League, knows their enrollment very close to Springfield. Of course, city of Chicago is where Westinghouse has their building. Coming to you from Carver Arena, the home of the boys Class A and AA state championships. Westinghouse, remember, had about 2.5 hours extra rest here this afternoon after they defeated New Trier in the opening semifinal game. Jamal Brown, smile on his face as he has the foul called against him. Contact, no whistle. McBride gives it up. Iguodala outside, quick step. Pump fake, still no whistle. Rebound, Smith, now the whistle. Iguodala looking at the official saying, hey, I thought there was some skin on me. What is our call here? alternating possessions, evidently. Anthony Bennett comes into the ball game for Westinghouse. Replaces Jamal Brown. We will see numerous substitutions tonight for the Warriors. Chris Head likes to move a lot of people off his bench.
And so far, that's worked in his favor. Those guys coming out here really fresh. They look sharp, both on the offensive and defensive end right now.
Marcus Ellis, nice drop inside to Glover.
Wow, what a move by him. And I don't know how he found Glover in all that traffic, but great delivery.
McBride again with the long three on missed opportunity there. An early 8-point lead for the Warriors from Westinghouse. The foul will go against the Lions. The Lions fans from Lanphier do not like it. Iguodala picks up the foul.
And the reason he gets called for this foul is because he starts to reach. See how he goes in there? That's when he gets in trouble. Easily could have gone the other way against Ellis. They know Ellis is a sophomore, can turn the ball over, is prone to do that, so they try to put pressure on him.
Mark that down. That is a first quarter foul for Iguodala. Ellis got himself there, couldn't finish. Here comes McBride running the break. Drop down inside to Scott. Well, we've seen on two separate possessions here. One right there from Iguodala. He leads his team in assists. And as far as Jamarcus Ellis, the sophomore, is concerned, he had that great pass to Glover moments ago. He's led Westinghouse in assists in these two games of the tournament.
Yeah, Westinghouse, Chris Head, the head coach, is telling his guys, you've got to get back defensively. That was the first time here in the first quarter where they didn't get back, and you saw that Lanphier was able to get inside and get an easy shot. Nico Scott isn't able to convert here on the first free throw, but gets to the free throw line.
Lanphier struggled just a bit from the line late in their semifinal game today against Centralia. Bennett will give it up to Crosby. Here comes Crosby, quickness. Inside position, which way is this whistle going to go? This may be against Iguodala. It is. That's his second personal foul, and it comes with 3:36 to play in the first quarter.
And Greg Patton for Lanphier is concerned, obviously. We talked about earlier in the telecast where he likes his all-staters, the first two guys, not to get in foul trouble, not try to get a foul in the first quarter. Play a little passive, play smart. Iguodala gets two quick ones right back to back.
He stays in the game right now. Let's see if they go after him. Bennett loses it. Now Jamal Brown along with Crosby come back in.
And one of the questions I had when Lanphier came into this state championship, they've played 3 games in 2 days. Would they be able to play that full court pressure against Centralia earlier in the day? They went back to more half court, and right now he's not coming out with that full court pressure. Well, this zone is given Lanphier just fits right now. Westinghouse.
A little too strong from Iguodala.
And those guys, Iguodala's starting to get frustrated out there. Things aren't going quite his way right now. But you got to credit Westinghouse's defense. It's a 2-3 zone, but it's more of a matchup. They have a lot of man principles in there, and it's hard to recognize what they're trying to do. Very aggressive zone.
Ellis on his skip to Crosby. Glover comes outside. Klunik, the good block out, and Richard Russell will draw the foul.
Well, Westinghouse really offensively can get any shot they want. They get a ball reversal. Glover wide open there, isn't able to put it down, but right now they are really dictating what they want out there, both on the defense and offensive end. They've just got their way with Lanphier. Lanphier really struggling trying to figure out this 2-3 zone.
Chris Head said he thought earlier today his team against New Trier played a perfect game. He said if we play another game like we have the first 2 games in Peoria, we will win the state championship. Iguodala, pull up. Rebound Ellis. DeMarcus Ellis, considered one of the top sophomores in the nation, has it right now. They'll let Crosby shoot it. Glover strong. Loose ball to McBride. Low scoring first quarter here for Lanphier. They'd say they like to score at least 20 points, which is what they've done all year. McBride, Quickly the other way.
Well, Glover runs the court so well. You've got to get down there defensively. He gets right on the box.
Jamal Brown partially blocked. McBride on the move. Baseline drive. Iguodala the bucket. He was flying along that baseline.
And what happened there was Glover was slow to get back. He's tired right now. And you see he's nowhere in the paint area. Iguodala reads that. He goes in strong. And able to get to the line. And what a great move on the baseline. Boy, he's just amazing to watch. And he takes off.
He finishes the three-point play. He has 5, and he's pulled his team to within 4. Glover handling the ball outside, probably where he does not want to. And a timeout is called by Westinghouse, 30-second timeout to avoid the turnover. Well, Darius Glover has been a factor inside through the course of the year, so much so that Craig Patton, the head coach for Lanphier, said that he considers Glover the best power forward he has seen all year. Speaking of a team that's been doing it all year, that's Lanphier. Opened up the season with a 19-game winning streak, and they're on a 13-game streak right now. Their only loss, you see, coming to Peoria Ridgewoods back on January 26th. One of the wins in that season opening streak was a 77-71 win over Westinghouse. February 5th is when Farragut got the best of Westinghouse. Of course, that defeat was avenged in the Public League Championship game.
And what a tremendous game that was to see those teams go at it. And unfortunately, someone had to lose, but both teams played extremely well.
Glover strong and up with the left hand.
Yeah, Nico Scott's got to put a body on Glover. He is. Anytime that ball goes up on the offensive end, you've got to know where he is. You've got to put a body on him.
Inside, Iguodala kicks it back out. McBride. He tried to do a bit much there.
Well, Iguodala gets the ball down the block. There was white jerseys all over him. Good defense by Westinghouse.
Glover, the trailer, knocks it down.
Boy, he's playing like a man. He is focused, and he is just. I was impressed with Vince Farragut when he played just some huge minutes. They rotate a lot of guys in and out, but they don't rotate him in and out.
Going to say he played 32 minutes today.
Yeah, you might. Chris Head, he's no dummy. He knows keep the big fella in there, the neutralizer.
Oh, look at Ellis go to the glass. A bit too strong, but sophomore was flying. You know, back to Darius Glover. He has appointed himself as the team leader, and he and Chris Head really did not see eye to eye last year. Chris admitted, he said, you know, we just kind of got together. We're now on the same wavelength. He says, I love him like I love anybody else here on this team. That was with authority.
Wow. Everybody's taking a deep breath in this arena. What a move that was. He got a little frustrated in that first quarter. Things didn't go quite his way, and he wanted back. Wow, what a move.
Final seconds of the first quarter in the boys AA state championship game. Anthony Bennett with it. Down to 4 seconds. Bennett will take it himself and scores. How about that? So with that, Westinghouse, an 8-point lead at the end of the first quarter. Coming to you from Carver Arena. We'll take a break and be back after these words from your local station. These teams met back on December 29th. You see Lanphier defeating Westinghouse for the championship of the Pekin Holiday Tournament 77-71. That was a game that Lanphier said really convinced them that they could be a state title contender. You see Richard McBride with 29 points in that ball game. He is scoreless here in the first quarter after 1 quarter of play here in the state championship game. Big number on the stat sheet is 1. That is in 1 turnover by Westinghouse in the first quarter. Iguodala handling the ball nicely in the lane. Skying for the ball is Ellis.
Wow, he went upstairs on that to get that rebound.
Head to Russell. Tony Smith cannot defend that by himself. Richard Russell with his 8th point. A 10-point Warrior lead. McBride back to Smith.
And Westinghouse just doing a great job in that zone. And they'll trap. They'll do a lot of different things in there. And it's really confusing Lanphier. Really having a hard time running their offense.
Loading it up. Still nothing there for McBride.
He's got to keep shooting. He's a great shooter. He'll eventually go down.
Jamal Brown running the break.
Right now, Lanphier just not doing a very good job getting back defensively. Westinghouse just beating them down the court. Greg Patton can't be happy with that. Those guys have got to hustle back. Even on a missed shot, Westinghouse outworking them down the court.
Jamal Brown committed to University of North Carolina at Greensboro, and as his coach says, they got to steal. Right now, the Warrior fans have to be thrilled with doubling it up, especially Jamal Brown's mother.
Well, she's got to be happy. He's played nearly a perfect game so far.
Here's Adeniji flying. Boy, he knows one speed, and that's full. Ademola Adeniji will head to the free throw line.
Yeah, Russell tries to get over there, just a little too late, moves over, and that's when he gets called for the foul. But again, they're trying to step up there and take the charge on him. He goes to that basket. He's not going to let up. He's going to go right straight for it every time.
That's the second personal foul on Richard Russell. The first 2 games here in Peoria, Westinghouse against Glenbard North and New Trier played 13 people in the first half. 15 for the game. There's depth there.
And the thing about Westinghouse is they played on Saturday. The rest of the teams played on Tuesday. They had a nice week of rest. Played the early game on Friday. Got to rest. So right now, and with Chris Head really moving guys in and out, you can tell they're just much fresher right now. Much more rested than Lanphier.
Another turnover committed by Westinghouse. That is only their second. They need to get McBride out of the blocks.
Yeah, he's struggling right now with that jump shot. He looks tired with that, especially his legs.
Off the hands of Russell, picked up Adeniji. Numbers against him. They still run the break. Huge block off the glass. And now the other way. Glover to Brown. Scoops it.
Oh, what a move! He jackknifed in the air and finished that off. Wow, we see Westinghouse get back defensively and then boom, the other way. They just, man, they look like they've been resting for 2 weeks.
They've looked quick each time we've seen them. They are quicker tonight. Here's Jamal Brown. Adeniji, can he save it? He does. And we go the other way. And Jamarcus Ellis denied about 12,000 people here at Thrill.
Everybody was on the edge of their seat for this one.
Oh, there's a buzz running through this building. Let's listen in. Woo. Iguodala misfires on his free throw. He's 1 of 2 from the line tonight. Brandon Williams into the Westinghouse lineup, replacing Russell.
That was a smart foul by Westinghouse. Don't want to give anybody easy basket, transition baskets. And he makes 1 of 2.
Still the 11-point margin in favor of Westinghouse. Crosby. Gonna need you a little bit of tip action. Boy, it appears that Westinghouse has just kicked it into another gear here tonight.
Well, Craig Patton from Lanphier talked about, the head coach talked about the quickness of Westinghouse and how it really created a lot of problems for them when the first time these two teams met. And he was very much concerned about it. And you can see that he respects it so much that he really hasn't come out with that full court press. He's tailored it back, more half-court defense. And you can see right now, when you look at Lanphier, all those guys are tugging on their jerseys. They are tired right now.
Couple of misses for Clyde Crosby. Triple teaming Iguodala. And they force a jump ball.
See, once that ball goes inside, the rest of the guys from Lanphier have got to recognize that. For example, Tony Smith's got to get to that baseline, get open. So Iguodala's got somewhere to feed that basketball, leads the team in assists. And right now, they're just laboring to get to that point, but get the ball to him. He seems to be pretty fresh right now. Let the rest of the guys feed off him offensively.
Now, you mentioned Tony Smith. I was just thinking of him. He had 21 points in the quarterfinals, just 2 earlier today in the semis. Smith has a three-pointer, and that's it here tonight.
Dave, you like to call him the X factor, and Craig Patton really looks for him when that team bogs down, for him to get open, get to that open spot. He gives them a lift offensively.
High post is Glover.
Oh.
That's a big man moving pretty quickly.
That's great footwork there. You know, I didn't think he was that comfortable starting out 15 feet from the basket, but he's got that good spin move. When they clear out for him, he's able to do that. Almost gets that shot to go down.
Foul on Nico Scott. That's his first. It's the 8th team foul for Lanphier in the first half. Glover with 9 points. Crosby tried the back door on Scott. Didn't think he got him. Officials thought otherwise.
And Chris Head right now is talking to him. He didn't like that foul very much. He's getting the earful. The point guard.
Craig Patton probably hasn't had to lose too many fingernails through the course of his season, going 32-1.
There hasn't been too many games where he's been behind by 12 here in the second quarter, so this is new territory for his team.
Struggled, as we said, from the free throw line in the semifinals. Craig said, you know, we're going to go work on that between games. I'm not sure what that really would have meant. I don't know that they would have gone to a local gym and shot their 100 free throws. A block on Bennett, but a foul called before that.
And Bennett, another fresh guy coming off the bench. Chris Head, head coach for Westinghouse, just keeps going in there. And I think that's paid off for him so far here in the state tournament. First 2 days really moved a lot of guys in and out. Sometimes you got to play for longevity over the long term, over 2 days, versus, you know, winning each game. And he's had a nice vision throughout the state tournament. I like the way he talked, the way he handled himself with the team, and very impressed with his coaching ability.
When he brings players in off the bench, you really do not notice a difference. Very easy to see as you look. I mean, that's a 2-3 zone. That's classic right there.
Yeah, Lanphier is doing a lot of standing right now, and then goes off penetration like they did there, but you got to move without that basketball if you want to create gaps in the zone, and right now a lot of those guys are standing.
Springfield battling on the boards. This is a very good rebounding team for Westinghouse. This is the most size that Chris Head has had in his years at Westinghouse. They are so quick off their feet. Still, the free throw woes starting to continue and mount as Andre's parents there not too happy with what they've seen. Boy, just that little head shake tells it all.
Well, this guy, he really is. He's the only thing that they've had got going here in the first half offensively.
Still looking for the first points of the night from McBride.
But as good as Westinghouse, they're not going to. Not one guy's going to beat a guy like Westinghouse.
We have a timeout on the floor. Westinghouse a 12-point lead. We'll be back to Carver Arena and the boys AA state championships right after this. Go to our sideline reporter, Lisa Prati.
I have Arlen Lover here. He was the head coach at Lanphier for 21 out of his 22 years from 1952 to 74. When you're watching games like this, is the style of coaching from when you coached different nowadays?
I don't know if the style of coaching is different, but the play is sure different.
Is it a lot more physical now?
Much more physical. Not as much skill, a lot more strength and power.
And you're not unfamiliar for actually coming downstate because you had a couple runs yourself down here.
Yes, I had a couple teams make it to the Elite Eight, and we've had several since then.
1963, he made it third place in Champaign, and fourth place they took in 1971. Thanks, Arlen. Back to you, Dave.
Thank you very much, Lisa. As Westinghouse pulled it out, now they end up converting.
Yeah, Darius Glover and Richard Russell are just having their way inside. I mean, they just are crashing the offensive boards right now. I mean, it's 1 and out for Lanphier on the other end.
14-point difference, the biggest lead of the night for Westinghouse. Jamal Brown right around McBride. Oh! Russell could not control. Boy, Jamal Brown so quick. He's looking over at Chris Head. Chris pretty animated. Jamal's kind of laughing about it. Foul called against Westinghouse. We'll shoot a couple of free throws. That's their 10th foul here in this first half.
Yeah, Westinghouse, I think so far has played almost a perfect first half here. They've only turned the ball over 3 times, and they've just really handled Lanphier's pressure. Lanphier really has a chance to get their pressure going, and this guy right here is really struggling. 0 for 7 from the field, and this is his first points of the game.
Richard McBride making a 29-17 lead for Westinghouse.
Smart move by Chris Head to really back it out, make Lanphier stretch their defense. Again, try to use your quickness, move them all out. There's a sophomore going against a senior.
Doesn't look too intimidated, does he? Russell on the putback. Nope. They're going to wipe it out. This ain't going to happen on the floor.
And see what happens when you break people down and you penetrate like that. You've got someone come over and help defense on the backside, the weak side. No one's coming over to clear out. And Glover or Russell are crashing that side and the weak side, and just there's nobody there to seal. You see a bunch of orange jersey, black jerseys there, and again, there's Russell again on that board. He's going to the weak side every time, and it's going to be tough for Tony Smith at 6'1", trying to guard a guy who's 6'6".
Russell getting 2 free throws because they are now in the super bonus. Byron Booker, the sophomore, 6'8" sophomore, replaces Jamarcus Ellis. Russell now with 11 points in the first half. Well, you can tell Lanphier's really tired just by the way they come down the floor. Legs are really heavy right now. Iguodala finds Scott. There's contact.
See, that's what I think Lanphier should do right there, is get him the ball. Iguodala, I mean, he looks fresh out there. He looks like he's ready to play. Get him the ball. The rest of the guys sort of feed off him. Dave, like you said, McBride and Nico Scott, Smith, and those guys look a little bit more tired. And you can see him on the, you get a look there. You can see right there all the guys tugging on their jerseys, and all those guys are Lanphier. The guys in white, Westinghouse, you don't see them on there. That's, you can always tell if a guy's player's tired. Of course, when I play, I was always tugging on my shorts. I was always tired.
I just thought that was a nervous habit.
But that's always a good indication when you see guys tugging on the bottom of their pants. That means they're trying to get a little extra air in those lungs, and they're burning right now for Lanphier.
Three players went for 32 minutes in the semifinals, and that was just about 4.5 hours ago. Iguodala, McBride, and Scott all played 32 minutes, and that's following 30-minute games for McBride and Scott the day before. Iguodala, a little bit of foul trouble on Friday. He played 25. So you got guys up there in 2 games going right around 60 minutes of basketball.
And Chris Head from Westinghouse, he looks like he'd be a great checkers or chess player. He's just pulling guys off the bench as he needs them. He looks very comfortable out there, dipping into that bench and just pulling guys off them.
Lee Hall is standing by somewhere in Carver Arena. Let's catch up with him.
Thanks a lot, Dave. We are with the gentleman I met yesterday. Ron Roan from Belleville, Illinois, has been going to the state tournament the last 47 years. Hasn't missed a year. Tell me your thoughts watching the game out there today.
Well, I was anticipating that some of them was going to be very close, but apparently it didn't quite materialize. But there's been some very, very good ball teams up here.
Tell me about the different venues where you've seen state championships played, along with Carver Arena and the Assembly Hall. Where else?
Well, way back in Champaign at the Huff Gymnasium, where actually it originated from.
Yeah. So you just missed out on the Hebron years, right?
That's right.
You say 47 down and 53 to go, right? You're going to make 100 of these in a row, right?
I'm definitely looking forward to it.
All right. Ron Roan, one of the dedicated March Madness fans that really makes this event special, guys.
Indeed. And obviously, a fella that can get dressed up like that and come out for 47 years, that's doing all right. Boy, good work on the boards by both teams. They really were going at it. The last, 2 minutes here. Westinghouse has been content to pull it out, open the floor up a little bit, use their quickness.
Well, Iguodala's done a nice job not getting that 4th foul here in the 2nd quarter. Played pretty smart. Close call there on the last play. Easily could have gone for over the back, but wasn't called for it.
60 seconds left here in the first half of play. The 12-point lead for Westinghouse. Clyde Crosby will hang on to it. We can't get that camera angle wide enough to show you how far spread this team is. Crosby looking to draw some contact. Let's see if the Lions can attack. They have the numbers. But the Warriors get back defensively. Here comes Bennett. And they convert. Darius Glover on the other end.
Well, they should give the assist to Randon Williams. He did a great job hustling, getting back defensively. Get that loose ball, and Lanphier had the numbers in transition. Again, another example of Westinghouse just out hustling Lanphier.
And an Agee pounding the dribble. Now they have to get serious with 5 seconds. There's 5 seconds, gentlemen. They don't know. That's probably the last man on the floor. They wanted to shoot that ball, and that shows a little bit maybe of how they have completely been taken out of their game. 32-18 is our halftime score. Only 7 points scored by Lanphier in that period. 13 for Westinghouse. Let's go right now to Lisa Prati.
Coach Head, your team came out very patient, but the strength definitely is your quickness against Lanphier.
Yeah, our quickness is our strength. You know, we came out and executed the things we wanted to execute in the first half. You know, but there's another 16 minutes, and I don't think these guys are going to lay down for us.
No, I don't think they are, but you know what? Your team is showing a lot of hustle, though.
Showing a lot of heart.
Thanks, Coach. I appreciate it. Back to you, Dave.
Chris very satisfied with his team's play. Said his team earlier today played a perfect game. Well, he's not too far off here in this first half of play. Westinghouse 32-18, the lead over Lanphier in our boys AA state championship battle. We'll be back with more, including awards here at halftime after these words from your local station.
Ladies and gentlemen, we direct your attention to midcourt. The presentation of the 3rd and 4th place team and individual awards for the 2002 Class AA March Madness Basketball State Final Tournament. Presenting the medallions will be members of the Illinois High School Association Board of Directors attending tonight's game. They are President Dennis Garber of Hoffman Estates, Division II. Vice President Pat Sullivan of Roxana, Division 7. Secretary Catherine Flanagan of Chicago Manly, Division 1. Frank Stout of Summit Argo, Division 3. Emmett Aubrey of Geneseo Darnall, Division 4. Alan Chapman of Normal Community, Division 5. Ron McGraw of Knoxville, Division 6. Linda Lane of Chicago, Brooks College Prep at large. Catherine Finch of Winnebago at large. And Treasurer Greg Bradley of Mount Zion, Division number 5. At this time, please meet the Trevians of New Trier, who finished the 2002 season in 4th place with a record of 25-8. Let's meet the administration, coaches, and team members. Superintendent, Dr. Henry Banzer. Principal, Mr. Wes Baumann. Assistant Athletic Director, Mr. Paul Moretta. Head Coach, Rick Malnati. Assistant Coaches, David Brenner. Scott Fricky. Craig Fairbairn. Now meet the Trevians. 2, Lewis Powell. 3, Josh Goodman. 4, Terry Coughlin. 11, Kevin Hearn. 21, Chris Busey. 22, Dan Larkin. 23, James Romey. 24, Graham Kaywood. 25, Nick Nikitas. 30, Mike Duda. 33, Brett Sortel. 40, Ted Rosinski. 44, Thomas Purcell. 50, Bob Anderson. 55, Peter Dykstra. At this time, please meet the Orphans of Centralia, who finished the season 3rd with a final record of 26-6. Let's meet the administration, coaches, and team members. Superintendent Edgar Koller. Principal Virgil Moore. Head coach and athletic director Rick Moss. Assistant coaches Chuck Lane, Roger Stieg, Roger Shaw, Brent Stewart, and now the Orphans. Number 4, Lance Markham. Number 5, Jason Palmer. (10) Brian Dinkelman. 11, Caleb Edson. 20, Anthony Jones. 21, Andrew Walton. 22, Blake Friels. 24, Jamal Palmer. 30, Jordan Queen. 32, Terrence Bradley. 34, Matt Shaw. 42, Neil Crosby. 50, Roland Miller. 52, Brandon Westbrook. And 54, John Smith. Now will Coach Rick Malnati and the captains of New Trier please step forward and receive the 4th place trophy. Congratulations to the Trevians of New Trier. And now will Coach Rick Moss and the captains of Centralia step forward to receive the 3rd place trophy. Class AA Boys 2002. Congratulations to both teams for outstanding seasons and a great effort here in Peoria. Here are the statistics in the first half of the championship game.
You just saw the 3rd place presentation to the Centralia Orphans under head coach Rick Moss, as well as 4th place to New Trier, their head coach Rick Malnati. There is a lot of excitement still generating here at the half between the Westinghouse Warriors and the Lanphier Lions. Westinghouse right now in the lead, 32-18. Nobody has left their seats here. It is a great crowd, and everybody's looking forward to seeing a great second half of action. So we have a lot more coming to you live right here at Carver Arena for the boys Class AA state basketball tournament. We'll have more right after these local messages.
At the half, it's the Chicago Westinghouse Warriors 32, the Springfield Lanphier Lions 18. And we welcome you back to Carver Arena along with Doug Altenberger. I'm Dave Bernhardt. Happy you've joined us here on the IHSA Television Network. And Doug, we saw a great first half by Westinghouse. We saw some very interesting numbers in this game, both from a team statistics standpoint as well as individual numbers. I noticed because my partner here has this lime green marker that's been working overtime on his stat sheet.
Well, and I think you were did the same thing, and you got red ink. But the thing that's shocking was Iguodala with no assists, and here's a guy that really dishes out 8 or 9 assists a game, and only 1 assist for the whole team. And give credit really to Westinghouse's 2-3 zone. That zone was a very aggressive zone, a zone that was well prepared. They knew who the shooters were, and anytime McBride got that ball, there was a hand in his face. He went 0 for 8 in the first half, and they can't afford Lanphier to have their all-stater come up dry like that.
On the other side, you have Darius Glover and Richard Russell inside, combining to shoot very well, and that's boosted the team numbers overall for Westinghouse. We take a look at the team statistics here after 1 half of play. Westinghouse, of course, shooting 48%, and for Lanphier, 5 of 22. That's not going to win you too many ball games. You shoot 22.7%.
And the thing about Westinghouse, too, really outworking Lanphier on the boards, winning the battle of boards, 18-14.
The other side, turnovers. We've been used to seeing Lanphier's opponents turning it over a lot. 4 is not a lot.
And that's a huge stat for Westinghouse, because when the first time they played, Westinghouse had almost 18 turnovers, and usually Lanphier is the one that's forced them. But right now, again, I think because they're a little tired out there in the first half, they've got to, at halftime, Craig Patton's got to give them the old speech, get them fired up, come out with a little bit more heart.
Individual scoring here in the first half. Iguodala and Smith with 14 points. You said you do not see Richard McBride, and there's that inside force of Glover and Russell. They combine for 22 of Westinghouse's points here in the first half, and that's why there is a 14-point halftime lead for the Warriors. Let's send it over right now to Lisa Prati.
Coach Patton, you had some of your key players get in the foul trouble early, but you're definitely getting the shot off. It's just not going in.
Exactly. I mean, we're getting some good looks. We just got to knock the things down there. I think our kids got to play a lot tougher right now. It looks like we're backing down from their physicalness, their aggressiveness. We got to meet their aggressiveness with ours and get out there and challenge them out there. So, you know, we told them at halftime, don't just give up and act like, so we haven't been down like this, but it's no time to change right now.
Okay, thanks, Coach. Back to you, Dave.
Thanks, Lisa. And again, we've got a lot more coming up at the half. You've got to stay right there. We'll be back after these words from your local stations. Back at Carver Arena, let's take a look at those first half highlights. And there's been a few of them on both sides of the arena as we've gone up and down this arena floor. First of all, Richard Russell on the other side. He had that big first half. We mentioned 11 points. He's done it inside.
Yeah, like you said, Dave, Glover and Russell, both those guys inside were scoring in the paint. And then Iguodala, he was really the only bright spot for Lanphier offensively. And it just seemed like they got beat down every time down the court. Jamal Brown just played a great first half of basketball, almost nearly perfect. Made the right decisions, and there again, Iguodala getting open, but he was the only thing they had to get going. But Darius Glover seems to get every loose ball underneath just was a warrior on the boards and was a real factor. And then that was really impressive. They had everybody on the edge of their seats with that one. Sucked the air out of all of us here in the arena. What a great move he put on there.
We'll be back to Carver Arena after this timeout. We are ready for second half play, and for one of these two teams, a big trophy awaits. The other will pick up second place medals and a trophy to go along with it.
And it's so important for Lanphier to come out here these first couple possessions to get a bucket and sort of turn around things. And it's important for Westinghouse to reestablish their defense.
How tough is it, never trailing by this amount, and here you are in a state championship ballgame? You look up the scoreboard, you see that 14-point difference.
Well, if I'm Craig Patton, listen, guys, we can't play any worse than we did in the first half. Let's get the ball inside and let's play hard, and let's the chips fall where they may. Let's not worry about the lead. I mean, just get it down to single digits. Take it one step at a time.
Good start to Nico Scott. Jamal Brown doesn't like what he sees in the paint, so he will bring it back out.
Nice job by Lanphier getting back on defense. They didn't do that in the first half, but good job by them collapsing defensively.
Anthony Bennett gets a start here in the second half, and he produces. And a quick timeout called by Chris Head. It comes just 46 seconds in to this third quarter, and that's one thing that we've seen. Chris likes to call timeouts at maybe non-conventional times. Springfield Lanphier can put some points on the board. 104 their high, and their low came earlier today. Maybe that was somewhat of a precursor to what we've seen here in this championship game. As far as Westinghouse is concerned, they battled through the Public League of Chicago. 47's their low to an excellent Crane team. They split with Crane this year, and of course they can rack up the points as well, as you see, 93 against Orr.
And you see Chris Head calling that timeout. Dave, the reason he called that was I don't think he was real happy with the mental preparation, those guys coming out. A lot of great coaches, guys like Bobby Knight, Gene Cady. You know, the first two possessions of a game and the first two possessions of the second half, they really want you guys to come out and reestablish yourself. And he wants these guys to come out with the same energy level that they did in the first half. Don't throw it all the way here in the first 4 or 5 minutes of the game of the third quarter. And he's right now giving them a little pep talk and refocusing these guys.
Andre Iguodala, we mentioned earlier today, you look at Richard McBride, but Iguodala had committed to Arkansas, University of Arkansas, and of course with Nolan Richardson's departure from there, that is somewhat up in the air as to where Iguodala will go. So keep it tuned with your local papers to find out where this young man will play. But guess what? You're going to see him on television here in the next few years as well.
Yeah, I've talked about it earlier. Reminds me a lot of a guy named Scottie Pippen. Does it all.
Can't get that one to go, however. The follow from Smith.
Okay, now you see Lanphier really starting to extend their defense, trying to play the pressure, which I thought they would try to play early in the beginning of the game. Craig Patton, I think, trying to maybe conserve energy a little bit. Now he's going to come hard at these guys in the second half, and Westinghouse has got to be prepared.
Clyde Crosby, the 5'10" senior point guard, runs the show. Nico Scott no longer in the game right now for Springfield Lanphier. He took himself out, got dinged up a little bit.
Boy, nice defense by McBride to stay with it.
They play catch, but still McBride can't find the hole.
And right now he's laboring to get back. He's hurting. See, that took a lot out of him on his legs.
That's a 3-ball from Jamal Brown.
And if you're slow getting back against Westinghouse, Jamal Brown spots up behind the three-point line. They make you pay the price.
Boy, Jamal Brown does so many things quietly. Obviously a three-pointer, notches the scoreboard up a couple ratchets, but so quick, just very steady, controls. Iguodala tries to answer with a three of his own. We'll stay at that end of the floor. Let's go to Lee Hall and check up on the injuries. Lee?
Yeah, Nico Scott took himself out of the game. They say he just banged his elbow on the floor. He's got a little funny bone problem. I think he'll be back. Back to you. He'll be back.
Thanks, Lee. I think that's pretty sure. You've got that rugged warrior that will be chopping at the bit to get back in there. There you take a look at Nikos.
Nothing like a little elbow. He's a football player going on scholarship. He's a tough Division I football player, running back. There again, to see every time there's a turnover, Westinghouse is just pouring it on and bring it down there hard. And Lanphier just having a hard time getting back defensively. I'm sure they talked about that at halftime, that we can't allow any easy baskets, no easy transition baskets.
Jamal Brown found a streaking Anthony Bennett, has pushed this lead to 17, the biggest of the night.
Yeah, it's one pass and a quick shot, and they're not even making Westinghouse work on defense.
Westinghouse Warriors looking for their first state championship. They were second a couple of years ago to West Aurora. A lot of people expected Westinghouse come out with the championship that year. Well, these Lanphier fans that was down there at their end of the floor, they thought there was a few fouls on that particular sequence. There's your turnover numbers. Only 4 for Westinghouse. Westinghouse has only been able to convert 2 of those turnovers into points. Westinghouse playing a great game, but you cannot ignore the fact that Lanphier, and everyone knew it coming in, played 5 men, a lot of minutes through the course of the entire season. And you can see the fatigue factor that has just been increasing as we've gone on here in this one.
Yeah, and you can see that in their jump shot and their lack of ability to finish off shots.
And finally, one goes for McBride.
But if they get a couple of those to go down, they get back in this ball game, get down to single digits, and anything can happen.
Into the corner, Darius Glover, count it! Darius Glover, his 13th point of the night, uses that body, nice post.
And the big fella gets right on the blocks, does it right now, quick decision. Lanphier tries to collapse, but he doesn't allow him with the quick release. Good, he reads him physically with his body, feels him to the left, moves to the right, and finishes it off. Nice three-point play.
Westinghouse has had an answer for anything Lanphier has done. They match McBride's 3 with a three-point play in the other end. McBride has it stripped. Brandon Williams. A 19-point lead for the Warriors. And they are starting to feel it. We'll be back. 4:19 to play here in the second, make that the third quarter of the second half. And there are your field goal shooting percentages. 23% defense, tired legs, it all kind of adds up. Westinghouse, of course, you run the break, you're going to shoot over 50%.
Yeah, Westinghouse, I mean, defensively, I'm sure Lanphier is a little tired out there, like you talked about, Dave, but no matter what, they've got 2 all-staters there, and Westinghouse is just taking it to them defensively. They come out with that 2-3 zone. They play a lot in the passing lanes, and Lanphier's got to get someone at the free throw line extended to break down that pressure. And see, there's no one in the middle right now, Dave, and they've got Nico Smith in there. Nico Scott, I mean, but he's not really a jump shooter. They're not going to really honor him.
A little bit of pushing going on inside. The officials catch it. Darius Glover.
And that's what I thought other teams should have done. When you play Lanphier, they're so quick that if you play that zone, you can help out each other. And you know who the spot-up shooters are. You've got Smith and McBride out there, so you've got to match up on those guys. The rest of the guys aren't going to beat you behind the three-point line. So I like what Westinghouse has come out defensively, how they're prepared against Lanphier. Nice game plan.
Remember, these two teams played earlier this season. Lanphier, 77-71 winners. That was back in December for the championship of the Pekin Holiday Tournament. Iguodala hangs. He draws the foul.
See, now he's a guy that can get the ball at the free throw line, and he can pull up, shoot that jump shot, or put it on the floor and go straight to the hole. Especially against that 2-3 zone, because it's not really a traditional 2-3 zone. It's more of a trapping type zone that they disguise it, or a matchup zone. And again, you see Westinghouse just bringing in fresh bodies one after another.
It's pretty warm here in Carver Arena. With them running by us, we get a little breeze.
You know, it is warm in here.
I think the ice underneath the floor here is maybe starting to melt away. The Peoria Rivermen, of course, play their hockey games here. Long one by McBride. 8 points now for McBride. Can't get the hop. That time they do. Glover stays with it. 16 points for him.
I mean, every time that ball goes up, and he is just crashing the offensive boards. I mean, he's just chairman of the board tonight.
For those people that were able to watch the Public League Championship, they saw Glover go up against Elliott Poole from Farragut, and Poole considered one of the most rugged inside players, and Glover just stood there right with him, looked in the eye, and played the big man from Farragut even.
Well, Chris had talked about him playing his best basketball of the season right now, and what a great opportunity, or opportune time to do that.
Exchange of steals. Oh, man. Jamarcus Ellis, nearly a circus attempt at that save.
Now, he surprised Glover right there. If he would have known it was coming, he was wide open for a nice dunk.
Balance scoring for Westinghouse. Glover, Russell, and Brown all reaching double figures. McBride now starting to get his game in gear a little bit here, his shooting game. You see the leading scorers for Lanphier. 3 minutes straight up here in the third quarter. Finally, the clock starts to move. Here's your back to that 17-point difference. McBride will try it again. Here he goes. He's got 3 threes in this quarter. Well, you said earlier, Doug, and you're the shooter, you said just keep shooting. He's starting to do it. 11 points now. Russell did not quite get squared up, but the Lanphier fans urging their team on here, sensing that maybe here with about 2.5 minutes to play in the third quarter, they can make a little move.
Yeah, and if Lanphier to get back in this game, they've got to do it on the defensive end. They've got to get back. No easy baskets for Westinghouse. Make them earn it. And now there's some shots are starting to drop. Whoa!
McBride with a bit too much distance on that one. That last foul on Anthony Bennett, his third.
That was from the parking lot. That was over from the March Madness experience. That was downtown.
They had a shooting contest at halftime of the first game tonight. I thought maybe that's what Richard was getting involved in, some distance shooting. Glover finishes.
Again, when you're down as many as Lanphier is, and you've got to gamble, take some risks, and Westinghouse doing a good job of making the Lions pay the price.
Terrell Pearson can't get it to go. He ends up fouling. You say pay the price. That's what Westinghouse has done all night. Pay the price on pressure, they get you. You pay the price on maybe a step slow on defense, they get you.
I'm just really impressed the way Chris Head, the head coach for the Westinghouse, how he's just moving these guys in and out. I mean, he's not moving much, losing much off the bench, and interchangeable parts. And you know, I call them the big three: Brown, Russell, and Glover. Those guys have just taken turns offensively, picking up the slack when
Russell and Brown played on that team in 2000 to finish second. They came back here for some unfinished business, looking for the big trophy. Jamarcus Ellis all the way. And there's Russell. Still working inside is Glover. Darius Glover with 20 points tonight. Westinghouse 28 points in the paint to Lanphier's 2.
Wow.
Whistle. Count it. Jamal Brown does not believe it. Richard McBride has 3, a chance for 4. McBride with his 4th three-pointer here in this quarter. And actually, they will say it comes after the shot. So a better situation for Lanphier. They get to hang on to the ball. Down by 15. They'd like to see it near 10 here to close out the quarter.
Oh, that'd be huge if they could get it within 10.
Iguodala.
Oh, nice block by Glover.
The block, he recovers the ball, and here we go the other way.
Boy, his presence is felt just all over this court. He is a... Oof.
As we said earlier, his coach said that it was a crime that he was not named to an all-state team.
Oh, he's making him pay the price now. He's taking it personally.
See Chris at the top of your screen. There he is. Oh, he works the sideline, doesn't he?
He gets an aerobic workout, no question about it. He is animated as they get. He's fun to watch. He loves his players, and they play with passion, just like he coaches with passion.
Smith, everything coming from the outside here. And the foul will go against Iguodala. That will be his 4th. Comes with 22.5 seconds to play here in the 3rd quarter. Westinghouse got out to a 19-11 lead at the end of the 1st quarter, stretched it to 32-18 at the half. They've increased it by a point here in the 3rd quarter. Inside Glover, working on Scott. Takes him to the hole. You look at Darius Glover, he stands 6 feet 4 inches tall. They list him at 200 pounds. He certainly looks bigger than 200 pounds.
Looks a lot thicker than that. And a guy of his thickness, Mark Aguirre, I mean, they listed him at 6'5", 6'6", and he played a lot taller than that. And he's the same type of build, same type of player. And he gets that ball in the blocks like he did just there. I mean, you're just going one-on-one with him. He's tough to slow down. There he shows that he's human. Missed a couple free throws.
Time for one last shot as we wind down the 3rd quarter. It goes for 3. So Lanphier is not going to go away quietly. We've got the 4th quarter coming up in the state championship game. 50-38, the lead for Westinghouse. We'll be back after these words from your local station. We'd like to alert our stations on the IHSA TV network that we will be running break 23 in the 4th quarter, and that's where we start right now. Westinghouse 50-38. Let's go to Lisa Aprati.
Dave, I'm here with Richard Bernard. He is the Assistant Athletic Director at Lanphier. Nickname is Barn Ernie, and you are basically the go-to person for your athletic director.
Yeah, I do all his dirty work, as you can say, but I enjoy doing it. He is a great guy to work for, and I'd probably never take another boss like him ever. He's a great guy.
Athletic director is Chad Roseboom from Lanphier, and talk a little bit about the preparation to get the guys down here.
Oh, it took a lot. Usually it takes me about 2 days, but as we got to the Tuesday's night game against Pekin, I had to stay like Wednesday night to get everything ready. It took me like 6 hours. Normally I get done in 2 days.
And it's all well worth it, because my understanding is every time Lanphier has made it down here, they've always gone past the quarterfinals.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, every game has been tough down the road, and I'm proud of the guys that they're here with, and it's a tough game.
Yeah, well, they're playing with a lot of intensity against Westinghouse. Dave, back to you.
Thanks, Lisa. And, you know, that's true of both these teams. They've really had to navigate some tough brackets to get to this very game.
Yeah, I mean, you could look at both those teams. I mean, none of these two teams went through an easy bracket, you could say. They went through it, and they earned to be here in the state championship game in 2002.
How about the way that Westinghouse had to start their tournament? Their first round game was against Chicago Young. Now, that's a team that's won a state championship down here. That's a team that some people thought could win the city championship. That's the first game they had to win in the tournament. Indeed, they did, 76-63. McBride, he's on fire right now. 17 points, McBride. That's his 5th three, all coming in the second half. And we're down to an 11-point difference. If there's any legs left in Lanphier, they need to use them now, and they force the turnover. And that brings their fans out of their seats.
And Westinghouse, for the first 3 quarters, did a terrific job of defending the three-point line. Now they've got to make adjustments in that zone and know where McBride is. You've got to stop that hot shooter. Oh, great feed by
Iguodala finds Tony Smith. The lead at once times 17 is underneath 10. Here come the Lions. A blocking foul on Westinghouse.
Wow, what a call. That goes the other way. That's the 5th foul on Iguodala. And he goes to the free throw line, and they're down only by 9.
Take a look. You decide.
Or if you're a Lanphier fan, boy, you have a sigh of relief when it seemed like it took an hour for him to make that call, whether it was a charging or a block.
I think your decision would have depended on what school colors you were wearing at the time. Iguodala, 2 important free throws with a 9-point deficit. 52-44.
Well, you got to give McBride just tremendous credit for hanging in there. I mean, he really struggled in that first half. 0 for 8 from the field, and nothing was going his way. And he stepped up and just carried this team in the third quarter.
7-point difference. 7 minutes to play in the state championship game. Anthony Bennett all the way to the hole.
Big bucket for Westinghouse.
Bennett just carved through the defense. McBride had a pick momentarily. Pearson elevation header. The sophomore Terrell Pearson makes it a 6-point game. Here's Glover. They let him go for the 2.
Scott had 4 fouls, didn't want to get his 5th. Had to let Glover to get that easy basket.
Iguodala aggressive to the hole.
And you can see Lanphier starting to feel it now, going off adrenaline. Again, you see the ball fake goes in there. He's a guy that, you know, you think you've got to, he's one of those guys where he's 50 basket, you think, okay, I stopped it. He takes 1 step and boom, with that long reach he has, it's a layup. I mean, how many times have we seen that the last 2 days?
He has treated the people here in Peoria and on the IHSA network to a real show. He's starting to find that rhythm from the free throw line as well.
And what really impresses me is his defense. I mean, he really gets out in the passing lanes. He works hard, and some proud parents right there.
4 straight free throws for Iguodala. He has 17 points. 56-50 is our score. A 17-point lead is down to 6. Jamal Brown gets the ball in his hands. 6 minutes to play in the state championship. Brown, lightning to the hole. Grabbed off McBride. Here comes Smith. McBride launches. Oh, baby! Oh, has Richard McBride put on a show in the second half. That is his 6th 3 of the half. He's pulled his team to within 3.
And he's hitting these from the parking lot. That's way behind the NBA three-point line, and that goes down, and the crowd is going crazy. And so is he.
Jamarcus Ellis will go to the line. He is scoreless tonight. Lanphier in the midst of a 15-4 run. And a kind bounce for Ellis.
And if you're Chris Head, you look at it, you say, at least, you know, we haven't played that bad defensively. These guys are just making plays.
The type of team Lanphier has been all year. They are explosive. Whether they had enough energy to explode, and the way Westinghouse is playing, you wonder. But they're right here, right now. Sophomore Pearson.
Oh! That one looked like it was dead on and came up just a little short.
Brown quickly to Glover. He's pushed. Count it!
You know, what great effort by Darius Glover. I mean, he outbeat everybody down the court, gets to the spot. And Westinghouse, what a huge bucket for them. I mean, he just beat everybody down the court. And that's a big guy, 6'5", 210 pounds. And he's been working hard the whole game. And I was just about ready to say Westinghouse needs to get the ball into Darius Glover and Richard Russell. Those are the guys inside the paint. They sort of got away from that here at the end of the third quarter and beginning of the fourth quarter.
Well, he got it to Glover. As you said, he's running the floor. Imagine that. He's down there for a defensive rebound, and he's the first man down the floor. A huge three-point play for Glover has pushed the lead back to 8. What was at one time 3 is now 8. 5 straight points scored by the Warriors. Nobody there.
It's important for Lanphier not to play too rushed. They got the lead down to 8 points or 6 points, but prior to that, they don't need to panic. A lot of times when you come from a large deficit, you get a little tired. It takes a lot of energy and output to try to tie that game up.
They just gave it away. Iguodala goes right around the man.
He took off from the free throw line. He picked up his dribble, it seemed like, behind the three-point line.
Jamal Brown. Russell crashes. Tony Smith, his foul, his second, team's 9th.
Russell doing a really good job working again. Both him and Glover just working hard in that, down in that paint area. And Westinghouse has just owned it the whole game. And even though Lanphier's gotten back in this ball game, they've got everything on the perimeter.
Richard Russell's family looking on. Probably a little more tense than they were a little while ago.
Well, Dad looks pretty relaxed.
He does. We only see the surface. Back to an 8-point lead. And a timeout on the floor. We'll take a break. This is a local break. Back after these words from your local station.
Hey, Dave, listen to this. That's Gloria Crosby, Clyde Crosby's mom. I've been sitting back here spying on you all along during that run by Lanphier. You were cheering every time they'd score a basket. You didn't look like you were worried at all.
No, I'm not worried, because you know what? I got faith in the Warriors. All those kids out there, they got faith in these fans, and they're going to take it home. Yes, they is.
All right, Gloria's got a lot of faith even as Lanphier scores. She's got twins that are freshmen, and we might see them, and Gloria will be back here screaming maybe in a year or two. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Lee. Iguodala was fouled on the way to the bucket. Warrior fans have 4 minutes and 36 seconds to worry about right now as Richard Russell has fouled out of this game. He will leave being a big presence early. He finishes with 15 points, but he got them started a strong way in the first half. 11 in the first half.
And that will really hurt Westinghouse. I mean, he played just an exceptional ball game. Gets called for his 5th foul there. So, and you've got Iguodala, who really surprisingly has played with 4 fouls here for a long time. So the big fella playing really smart so far.
Gets his own rebound off the miss. Loose ball. McBride. Iguodala. Oh my goodness. Oh man.
There are guys flying all at him and trying to slow him down, and they know what they have to do. Westinghouse, they just can't do it. And does a great job staying with that, and then uses that reverse English to put it up on the glass, and it sneaks right in there. What a great move. I mean, these two guys, McBride and Iguodala, have tried single-handedly to bring their team back in here, and it's been quite a second half these guys have put on.
13 second half points for Iguodala, 18 second half points for McBride. A 5-point difference. Here's Glover. The tip goes.
A big no call there.
65-58. Midway point of the 4th quarter. Remember, Westinghouse at one point had a 17-point lead. Tough spot for Pearson. McBride finds it. Clock stops. 3:48. He'll shoot 2.
And the problem is when Westinghouse fouls, they stop the clock, allow Lanphier to reset their full court press. Got to play a little bit smarter on defense. If you're beat, let them go. Don't put them on the free throw line.
There's a record that Richard McBride has tied 6 3-pointers in a state championship game.
They basically did that all in 1 quarter.
How about it? Brandon Hughes in AA and Bill Heisler out of Warsaw in Class A. 22 points for both McBride and Iguodala. 65-60 is your score. Lanphier looking to bring home their school's 2nd state championship. Westinghouse looking for the 1st place prize for the first time. Anthony Bennett, Brandon Williams. The tip again goes. Darius Glover again strong inside. 27 for Glover.
Oh, he has just played a monster game. I mean, this guy has just been so clutch every time he...
Oh! You want clutch? Terrell Pearson, the sophomore. 4 points is the difference. Glover. Ellis.
Right now, Westinghouse, Chris said, the head coach, he's looking for some defense, rooting his guys on. Needs a stop.
Iguodala in trouble. Has that guy come up big? Terrell Pearson.
Big's not the word.
Westinghouse full speed and they give it away. Ahead, Smith, shovel. Oh!
I've never seen a team look so tired and turn it around so quickly as Lanphier done. This has been quite a performance.
This place is rocking. And the Warriors will back it out.
And the crowd has really gotten behind Lanphier, rooting these guys on and being down almost 20 points. And what an effort.
Anthony Bennett on Iguodala. Remember, Andre Iguodala has 4 fouls.
And this probably works right into Lanphier's hands because they're tired right now. They're taking some time off the clock, allows them to rest. And you can see Nico Scott right now just resting.
Brandon Williams with it, working with Scott. Scott trying to get a 5-second call. And Chris had a fabulous timeout. He saw that very thing, Doug. This thrilling IHSA broadcast is brought to you by Country Insurance and Financial Services. Real people, real answers, real quick. What a great year it has been in basketball. Here is history. Candace Parker from Naperville Central, the first dunk in Illinois high school girls basketball history. She added one later, and that just got us off to a great start. Now, 3 weeks ago, the Carrollton Lady Tigers made it back-to-back state championships in girls Class A with a 24-20 victory over Augustus Southeastern. And then back in Redbird Arena the following week, Hinsdale Central's Red Devils brought that community its first basketball state title since 1908. That with a 43-38 win over Marion Catholic. Then last week, Pleasant Plains won their second boys Class A crown in 3 years with a thrilling 50-47 overtime win over Heron. So 1 week ago, we were at a state championship game with OT. Right now, we're looking at a 2-point game with 1:40 to play.
And right now, if you're... A 5-second call. Boy, you've got to get the ball in bounds. I'm sure Chris had told us guys, whatever you do, the most important thing is get that thing in bounds. And I mean, if you went and saw this thing at halftime and you left for a little while and you're back and you're turning the television on, you're probably in shock, and a lot of people in this arena are. Oh, watch out! Oh, it goes! Count it!
Unbelievable. Iguodala, the tie, and a chance to add to it. A 17-point deficit has been wiped out.
And wiped out in a hurry. I mean, it came in a flurry.
Anthony Bennett fouls out. 1 minute, 33 seconds to play. We are tied at 69. 17 second half points for Iguodala. 18, make that now 20 for McBride, and Lanphier has the lead. Their first lead of the game. Jamarcus Ellis, and they'll get Pearson for the foul. Jamarcus Ellis to go to the line. Jamarcus Ellis to toe the line. His team down by a point. 1:24 left.
Well, these are big free throws for the sophomore.
Oh, that was ice.
He looked like a senior. He stepped up, cool as a cucumber, and knocked those down.
Every free throw opportunity now will be 2. Both teams in super bonus. And the Warriors back on top. And here comes full court pressure. 71-70, Westinghouse the 1-point lead. State championship hanging in the balance. Andre Iguodala working on Darren Gafford.
Lanphier's got 4 timeouts, so they need to take their time. They don't get a good look, or they get a little disorganized out there. Call a quick timeout.
Richard McBride finds Iguodala. Could not quite get the grip, but he's going to go to the line. He will get 2 free throws.
Yeah, the amazing part of this game is Westinghouse really had this game under control, and they let it get away from us, away from them. McBride was the guy that started it all in the third quarter, igniting him with 5 3-pointers. And
you want a money player? How about Iguodala? 7 straight free throws here in the fourth quarter. We're tied, and now we're not. Lanphier the 1-point lead. 72-71, final 60 seconds of regulation. Jamarcus Ellis out of control. Count the basket. Brandon Williams.
Boy, the senior comes off the bench with just a terrific offensive rebound. These guys have owned the boards, winning the battle of boards, but seems like they've had one after another offensive rebound. And he comes off the bench, and Chris Head just got to be ecstatic with this play.
Nico Scott fouled out on that play. So they'll lose a big body inside, Lanphier will. They go the other direction, they go small. Anamola Adenichi comes back in. Brandon Williams. His team up 73-72. And look at Clay Crosby, the smallest man on the floor, comes away with it.
Or how many times guys forget to block out on a missed free throw.
Timeout, Westinghouse. 41.9 left, they lead by a point. They will take a full timeout. Oh my.
I think we need a timeout right now. I need oxygen.
Let's go inside the huddles here on the near sidelines. We'll try to find room to get yourself in there.
24. Once we get the ball in bounds, we got to go twin.
Screen over Nico. Everybody else sets the same. Let's try to get it still. Hey, 12 or 44. I don't know what trying to guard 12. Let him catch the ball in and do a foul right away. Okay? All right, let's go right there.
One-on-one outside.
No timeout. Timeout.
Time me 1, 2, 3, time. Wait.
Here are your state titles by way of city. Manly, Simeon, Mount Carmel, 3 Kings and a Young. As far as Springfield is concerned, that one state championship back in '83. We're not ready to decide this one yet. Let's go to Lee Hall very quickly.
All right, Dave, real quickly, Chris Head emphasizing short passes. Obviously, take care of the ball in this situation. Get it in bounds and take care of it. Very emphatic in there. Back to you.
On the other side, we heard Craig Patton say that there could be a foul coming up shortly. Ooh, nearly a cross, and yes, off the feet of Jamal Brown. So here we are, 39.2 seconds left. Lanphier the ball down by a point to decide the state championship.
And Lanphier's got 4 timeouts.
Crosby the push on McBride. 2 free throws coming up for Richard McBride.
It looked like there was a lot of contact there, but that was all the way across the court from where we were, and that was a tough call.
McBride 4 of 4 from the line tonight. He needs this one to tie it. They'll get Brandon Williams into the game. The Warriors will. Big free throw for that man who has led his team back in the second half. In and out, misses 2. Westinghouse survives the foul. The ball in a 1-point lead. Jamal Brown, they can't catch him. Finally they do, the clock stops, 26.1.
Well, we talked about free throws. You got to step up and make those. And right now, these are 2 huge free throws, and you can see Lanphier try to freeze them. They're going to call one of their 4 timeouts they had left. But I think that plays right into Chris Head's. He doesn't have any more timeouts. This gives him time to talk to his team, set up defensively, whether they make them or miss them.
Here is your reset. As Doug just mentioned, Westinghouse out of timeouts will be shooting 2 free throws anytime there's a foul. And the big numbers, the 1-point lead for Westinghouse.
And if you're Westinghouse, the one thing you cannot allow happen is McBride to get loose behind that three-point line. He has been on fire. Everybody has to know where he is. And all of the guys, Smith, he's come up big. And you've got to know where Iguodala is. And so you really got to protect against that three-point shot. I mean, they have been very efficient behind the three-point line in the second half.
That's what it's all about right there. Those fans did not expect to be in the position they're in right now, those from Springfield. In fact, not many of the 12,000 people in Carver Arena tonight, or the thousands more in the IHSA television network, would have expected to be sitting here with a 1-point difference in 26
seconds. It took a little time, Dave. We thought that this was the game that we would see, but Lanphier started off slow, and Westinghouse played nearly a perfect game, and Lanphier just came storming back, and it's just, I mean, what an effort by these guys, these Lions. Too. Unfortunately, someone's got to go home a loser, but no one's really a loser. They all are winners. And
Jamal Brown had 2 free throws and 2 attempts back in the first quarter. Situation's a little different now. Knocks it down for a 2-point difference. Darren Gafford in, replaces Williams. More quickness on the floor now for Westinghouse. Brown a chance to make it a 3-point lead. (75-72). Here we go. Under 20 seconds. Iguodala. Blocked away by Glover. Iguodala forces. And a traveling call. He was looking to draw contact. Lanphier fans thought he did.
That was a wild sequence of events. Everybody was looking for the foul, the contact. He gets called for traveling. Not what a lot of people expected here in the arena.
Lanphier will take a 30-second timeout. Craig Patton will have to determine how quickly he can foul. They have to catch him. And remember, Iguodala can't be the man to do the fouling. Nico Scott has already fouled out. Adeniji has 4 fouls. Pearson, the sophomore, with 4.
Yeah, you've got to, first of all, what you want to do is try to steal the inbounds, but you've got to foul immediately, as quickly as you can.
Get the ball inbound! Let's go, man. Defense, 1, 2, 3, defense.
Last time they did not get the ball inbound.
And as a coach, that's the most, a lot of times as a player, I've been there where you get so excited and you figure you're going to do all these things, and the coach tells you, forget all that. You've got only a little over 10 seconds. Just get the ball in bounds. Everything else will take care of itself.
Jamarcus Ellis to trigger. They do get it in bounds. Glover fouled quickly. 2 seconds left the clock.
Now you've got 8 seconds, and that's still a long time here. Even if Glover comes down and makes both these free throws, you want to get a quick score. Try to go for the 3, but if the 2's there, they get it real quick. It's going to take 2 possessions no matter what.
Glover 3 of 7 from the line tonight. It's a 3-point difference. It's still 3. 8 seconds to play. Most important free throw of this young man's life right now. And he knocks it down. A 4-point difference. Iguodala. And this game is over. Your state champions for the first time in their history, the Westinghouse Warriors. Look at the pictures to see how much a state championship team means to those young men. The rap against the Chicago Public League was a lot of times they did not come down here with the intent of coming away with a state championship after winning the city championship. Those pictures dispel all of that. They were here in 2000. They were favored to beat West Aurora. They were short by 3 points tonight. They come on top by 4. Chris Head. The exterior is finally broken.
There's a smile. He does smile.
Let's go to Lisa Prati. Lisa.
Our player of the game is Darius Glover, 27 points, 10 rebounds. You guys played a fantastic game because Lanphier came back there in the fourth quarter.
Hey, can I say something? I want to thank the good Lord. The good Lord been with us all year long. He stayed with us, and we knew he was going to do it. The good Lord was with us all year long. I just want to thank God.
You did a fantastic job of telling your players to keep patient out there.
Yeah, I talked to him. I'm a leader. I said, be patient. The game ain't over. We got this. We've been in the same situation in the United Center, and we came through like champions.
Well, you've been here before in 2000 against West Aurora, so you guys had the experience here losing that game to them.
Yeah, we was focused. We was focused all year long. We was focused, and we kept us focused all year, and we stayed on it, and we worked hard, and that's what it pays off. It's a championship.
All right, thanks, Darius Glover, our player of the game for Country Insurance. I'll send it back to Dave.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Lisa.
We're with Chris Head, Victoria's coach, Westinghouse coach. Your guys up 17. They held them off, and you got a state championship. Congratulations.
It kind of scared me in exchange. Thought I was about to have a heart attack over there, but I mean, like I said, there's just no way to express how I really feel about my kids. I mean, the kids did a great job. Kids kind of dedicated this season for a young lady that passed away, one of our players, Darren Gafford's sister. And the kids kind of dedicated to her, so this goes out to her. And my principal's at home with her husband. He had a heart attack, so she's at home with her husband. I just want to tell Dr. Bibbs that we did it for you. Tell Guy I'm praying for him. Get well, and we're coming back with a state title.
Very emotional, Chris Head. Chris Head, congratulations. You've done a great job bringing this team down and winning a state championship. Godspeed.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, back to you, Lisa.
Lee, I'm here with Richard Russell, and Richard scored 15 points in the state championship game. How does it feel to be a state champ?
It feels great. It feels great. We made history. We the first team from Westinghouse to ever take it.
So what happened before this game? Because you knew with the intensity that you played in the semifinals that you guys had to come just as strong as you did in the first game.
We knew we had to outrun them. On this court is huge. We had to outrun them, and our program at Westinghouse, we do a lot of conditioning, so that was to our advantage. We saw in their games that they were a little. We wanted to use our advantage and run them off the court.
Is it a lot different for you guys to be playing in an arena this size?
No, it isn't. It isn't. It is. We played in this arena actually like 3 times. 3 times. I played down here myself.
You're used to this, and you got the experience. Now Richard Russell is part of the state championship team for Westinghouse. We'll be back with more right after these local messages.
At this time, please meet the Lions of Springfield, Lanphier, who finished the season in second place, a record of 31-2. Let's meet the administration and the team superintendent, Dr. Robert Hill. Larry Rowe. Athletic Director, Chad Roseboom. Head Coach, Craig Patton. Assistant Coach, Pat McGuire. Assistant coach, Al Klunick. Assistant coach, Al Page. And now the Lions. Number 4, Tyler Klunick. Five, Robert Zuloff. $12, Terrell Pearson. $15, Wade Stubbs. $21, Tony Smith. $22, Brett Fager. $23, Adamala Adaniji. $31, Eric Christine. $32, Lance Dickerson. $33, Richard McBride. $41, Andre Iguodala. $42, Mario Taylor. $44, Willie Dorr. And $50, Nikos Scott. At this time, please meet the Warriors of Chicago Westinghouse, finishing the season in first place, a record of 30-5. Let's meet the administration and the team. Director of Sports Administration, Dr. J.W. Smith. Principal, Dr. Lona C. Bibbs. Athletic Director, Clark Morgan. Head coach, Chris Head. Assistant coach, Henry Cotton. Assistant coach, Quitman Dillard. Assistant coach, Orman O'Quinn. Assistant coach, Michael Farmer. Now let's meet the Warriors. Number 4, Parif Smith. Five, Stephen Cullum. $10, Jamal Brown. $11, Courtney Thornton. $12, Clyde Crosby Jr. $22, Darren Gafford. $23, Brandon Williams. $24, Richard Russell. $30, Jamarcus Ellis. $33, Anthony Bennett. 34, Edward Whitaker. 35, Byron Booker. 40, DeAndre Billingsley. 42, Aaron Moore. And 44, Darius Glover. And now will Coach Craig Patton and the captains of Lanphier please step forward to receive the second place trophy. Class AA Boys 2002. And now will Coach Chris Head and the captains of Westinghouse please step forward and receive the first place trophy, Class AA Champions 2002. Congratulations to both schools. Thank you for enjoying March Madness playing in Peoria.
Westinghouse Warriors 2002 Class AA state champions. Doug, what a thriller this was.
That second half, I mean, that was some inspirational basketball. Those guys, I think both teams raised the bar several times. It seemed like each team responded after the other one, and just a terrific effort by Darius Glover, probably the best 6'4" player in the country. I mean, he comes to play, and he just played terrific in the second half with 17 points. And same thing with Lanphier Lions. I mean, Iguala and McBride scored 42 of the 54 points in the second half. I mean, what a show they put on.
We'd like to take this opportunity to say thanks to the great people over at Old Chicago. They are providing some great food for our production crew. They've got great pizzas, pasta and more. When you got to fly, get some Old Chicago to go. Let's go right now and catch up with our sideline reporters, Lisa Prati and Lee Hall.
Dave, what a wonderful tournament. Have not seen a championship game like that in years. Lanphier, you got to give them a lot of credit. Coach Patton did an excellent job. Obviously had a great conversation with them at the half.
I'll just remember two things about this game: the great, courageous comeback by Lanphier and the emotion of Chris Head after that win. And I just think how lucky these young men are to play for Chris Head, and how lucky they are to have somebody that cares like Chris Head does.
Absolutely.
Congratulations to both teams.
It was a great atmosphere here tonight and a great crowd overall for a state tournament. And once again, very happy to be working with Lee Hall, as well as Dave Bernhardt and Doug Altenberger. You guys are the best.
Good job, guys.
Thanks, Lisa. Thank you, Lee. And Doug, it is a thrill just to be involved in the high school aspect here.
Yeah, I mean, you saw tonight just all the special things going on, the coaches and the community, the people that we've met over the last 2 days. And that's what high school sports is all about. It brings people together, and the emotions and the kids and how much they care. And I mean, I could go on, and it's just a great environment to be in.
And it's been great to have you with us here in the IHSA Television Network for the past 4 weekends. You've gotten to see boys and girls A and AA state basketball championships. And I hope what you've gotten to see is maybe a little bit of what high school is all about. Some stories behind the stuff that goes on the floor. The stories, the emotions that go on in young people's lives. And that's what we've hoped we brought you. And we thank you so much for joining us here in the IHSA Television Network. For our entire crew, we thank you. But first, before you go, we leave you with this. At the beginning of the season, 4 teams knew in their hearts that they could be champions. In Bloomington and in Peoria, they achieved that goal. We paused a moment to remember basketball games of long ago. A half-century has passed since young men from Hebron, Illinois stepped onto the basketball court. They also knew in their hearts that they could triumph. They chased glory for their school. They earned the pride of their families. They built lifelong friendships, and they were champions. Although the game has changed in many ways, the values have remained timeless. The Hebron Giants embody the realization that every great journey begins with one small step. A dream can flourish throughout a lifetime, and everyone who attempts to do the impossible truly
is a champion.